Hey there, Hail Stalkers. This is Derik Kline. We're coming to you from the Hail Palace today. Check it out. I've got the green suit on again today. Allen, Texas just got lit up over the weekend, or over Friday, I guess. But really excited about the forecast. We also have another piece of exciting news that we have. We're going to have Peyton, one of our new meteorologists, that's going to be doing the forecast for us on Monday. Peyton, why don't you come in and say hi to everybody?
Yes.
Just give you guys an introduction
Hello.
to Peyton.
My name is Peyton Gallion. I go to the University of Oklahoma, majoring in meteorology and double minoring in broadcast meteorology and GIS. So I'm excited to be here at Hail Trace.
Awesome. So we're excited to have you. Obviously, we can't wait to see you do the forecasting. You do some really awesome work for the University of Oklahoma. Excited to have you on doing the forecast, and we'll see you next Monday, right?
Yes, next Monday.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Peyton.
Thank you.
So I'm still in her thunder today. Today was actually supposed to be her first day, but Allen, Texas said otherwise. We had to bring the green suit out and fire off the forecast with the green suit and check it out. So anyway, here it is, 5-star recap. We're going to take a look at the hail sizes. This might end up being the costliest hailstorm in the U.S. this year. It's going to be close, but definitely a very catastrophic hail event in Dallas. We're talking West Texas hail chances today. We could have some hail out there, could have a few tornadoes, could have some high wind. We're going to take a look at that. And yeah, we're just going to keep doing this over and over again. It's that time of year where the high plains, where they get lots of severe weather threats. So taking a look at yesterday's storm reports though, or this is actually from May 19th, so not yesterday's, but check it out. Look at all the hail down here in Dallas. So we zoom in. This little storm, one of the craziest storms that you'll ever see, was just a really minor shower, kind of split off of another cell, and right as it got here to the I-35 corridor, it just exploded and only lasted for about a half an hour, and then it was done. So really interesting case. I don't know if the urban heat island played a role in this, but it was a really neat case of how severe weather just tends to get more impactful in the Dallas metro area, and that was the case on May 19th. The storms really took off. Here's a look at the map that we produced. Like I said, really short track. I-35 right back over here. You can see the hail basically fired up. Immediately went to baseball-sized hail as it went across the north side of Allen, just north of Plano, and this extremely impactful. This wasn't just one or two large hailstones. This was a lot of hailstones, and it did a lot of bad work when it comes to what we're looking at. So here's a look. Name of the storm, Plano, Allen, Midland, Texas. Then you've got max hail size, baseball-sized hail. Total homes impacted. Now this is all over the entire state of Texas, okay, but 123,000 homes were impacted on Friday in Texas. And if you want more information, we've got our QR code right up here. Go ahead and scan that, and we can definitely get you more information about this map or more things that we do here at Hail Trace as well, covering different hailstorms, tornadoes, wind events, all the fun stuff that we get to do on a daily basis. So here's a look at the radar currently. We've got a lot of showers and thunderstorms right now over Georgia. None of this really severe. Could have some marginal event with wind. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Then we've got this little spin right here, as you can see, over southwest Kansas. This will be the trigger for severe weather this afternoon. As we get into the late afternoon hours, temperatures really start to warm up. It'll be this. There it is. You can see it really well right there over southwest Kansas near Liberal. A nice spin. This is called an MCV, and it's going to put out a boundary. When we get some heating on this, that's when we expect to see storms fire up. Another little trough of low pressure up in the mountains, up in the Rocky Mountains, could cause some severe weather as well. We'll take a look at that. And then again, like I said, some high winds possible in the southeast when it comes to these scattered showers and thunderstorms, really already underway. And the amount of cloudiness that's going on with this is what's going to limit instability and really keep us more of a wind threat across that part of the country. And you can kind of see that here as we look at temperatures. Again, very warm in Dallas, very warm back here in Amarillo. You can see the orange really starting to fill in. That's temperatures that will warm up into the 80s as we get into the afternoon. But as we come back over here to the southeast, we see temperatures only in the upper 60s. So we're talking about 68, low to mid upper 60s, even low 70s potentially across the southeast. That's that limiting factor of the instability in place for that part of the country. The moisture, now the moisture is in place. Very humid air in the southeast, but again, the temperature's not there. That's the limiting factor in the panhandle, though. The moisture is not quite as high. That will limit the thunderstorm potential, or at least the severity of the thunderstorms across the panhandle. Same thing up in the mountain, up in the Rocky Mountains, that will also be a limiting factor there. But as you can see, as we go through the nighttime hours, that moisture does try to back up in the panhandle. That could cause things to get a little bit more severe as we head towards sunset. So let's take a look at the radar here. Here it is, right as we start things off. This will be our first thunderstorm right up by that MCV that we talked about. That little area of low pressure in southwest Kansas will fire off a thunderstorm right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. And that storm could be severe. It could cause some very large hail. But again, keep in mind of where we're at. So we've got Dodge City up here to the north. We've got Woodward. That's about it. So there's not a whole lot up here. But more thunderstorms will fire up near Amarillo and sag off to the south and east. Those also having the potential for some large hail and some damaging wind in those thunderstorms. And you can see they will progress off to the east. As we get towards about the 10 o'clock hour, that's when I expect things to start to wind down. So maybe a couple of severe thunderstorms near Shamrock or Wheeler, Texas here. But not a whole lot of activity looks too crazy. You can see some moderate rain headed out towards Enid. Down by Wichita Falls, we could have some severe thunderstorms that stretch all the way down towards Abilene and maybe Sweetwater, Texas. So we'll watch this area, again, for the potential for some large hail, possibly up to golf ball, maybe a few 2-inch hailstones, but not expecting anything too over the top when it comes to this storms. These will continue to sag off to the south and east. They will weaken as they do so. As we get towards sunrise, we may see some new showers and thunderstorms develop across western Oklahoma as the lower level jet really begins to intensify. But for the most part, I'm not expecting a whole lot of severe weather out of this. This should stay sub-severe, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of moderate to heavy rain, and that should be about it with those particular showers and thunderstorms. So again, across the mountains, again, high winds tend to be the bigger threat with these particular thunderstorms. You can see making a run at Great Falls by the 4 p.m. hour, and those will continue to shift off to the east, and they will weaken as we get into the nighttime hours, very similar to what we have down in the high plains, down the Texas Panhandle. So continue to watch that as well for you. And then here it is in the southeast. Again, just a smattering of showers and thunderstorms all across the southeast. You can see across the Panhandle, southeast Georgia, Jacksonville, we're talking Savannah, all this area. You've got a chance for a few severe thunderstorms. If a storm can get in the right environment, it may produce some large hail, but for the most part, we're thinking really a high wind threat will be the biggest threat. And you can see everything fires, just lots of showers and thunderstorms all across the Panhandle, and then things should eventually weaken as we get past sunset. We lose a little bit of instability, and those thunderstorms will continue to weaken and get a little weaker over and over and over again. So our significant hail index, here it is for this afternoon. Again, we're only going to highlight, we're not expecting a lot in the southeast, so we're going to highlight West Texas, okay? So the Panhandle down to San Angelo, and you can see as we go through the afternoon hours, everything kind of comes in, and then as we get into the overnight hours, the moisture, the temperatures, everything kind of weakens back down, and we expect the significant hail threat to weaken as we go through the overnight hours. All right, here's our hail forecast for today. Again, fairly small area. Again, some quarters possible down in Florida, some quarters possible up in Montana. As we get down into Texas, this is where we think the biggest threat for hail will be. So that's going to be Amarillo, that's going to be Lubbock. Could it make it to Lawton? It's going to be a tough stretch, but it is possible. Same thing for Midland. I think most of the activity should be off to your north. And again, as we head up here to Great Falls, very low threat in Butte and Great Falls, Montana, and a very, very low threat down here for Tallahassee and Tampa. In fact, Tampa, one of the cities that you will hardly ever see large hail because of the Gulf of Mexico, makes it very difficult for that to happen. So Amarillo, our forecast, 4 to 6 p.m. That's when we expect thunderstorms to develop, and then they will move off to the east of Amarillo. Our hail size, so the chance of golf ball size hail, moderate. Chance of over 1-inch hail, moderate. And again, not crazy with the opportunity. Again, I think it mainly happens to the east, and also large hail is not the predominant threat for today because the lapse rates just really aren't there. So the cold air above our head just isn't great across the Texas Panhandle today, but just enough that we could see some severe weather. Again, our wind areas, we have several pockets of areas that we expect to see some wind. with today. So as we come across the Texas Panhandle, we go moderate for Amarillo and Lubbock. Again, Lawton and Midland, Odessa area, we're low there. As we come to the southeast, Tallahassee and Orlando, we'll keep them at low threats, maybe some 60-mile-per-hour winds today, but that's about it. Butte and Great Falls, we could see some winds up to about 65 miles per hour up across this part of the Mountain West, especially up on some of the higher peaks. We really could see some winds, but down in the cities, down in the towns here, off the mountainsides, again, still some 65-mile-per-hour winds are possible with these thunderstorms. Tornado forecast, we do have a very small area. I would say a very, very low chance of an isolated tornado. Wouldn't be shocked if we had a tornado-warned storm out of some of these events. But again, Lubbock and Amarillo, the moisture is just not there for tornadoes today. But it's the Panhandle. It doesn't take as much moisture to create tornadoes. So we will watch this for a very, very isolated opportunity that there could be a tornado. So as we look at instability, again, for tomorrow, here's a look at everything. Again, we have the dry line punching out. So again, we're going to have another threat, the high plains, right? As we get up into the Cap Rock back here in West Texas, that's the area that we're going to be watching for continued instability as we go through Wednesday. Check it out, Wednesday, we really start to see things drop off. And so the threat may actually lower just a little bit. Here's that MCV, watch it roll off. The dry line will reset for Tuesday afternoon. We'll see new showers and thunderstorms develop, move and race towards Dallas, Texas. This looks real crazy, right? If you're in Dallas, you're thinking, all right, 1 a.m., we've got some nasty storms. We could see some high wind with these storms, but this should be a pretty strong MCV. The hail threat should be extremely low with this, and I will mainly be focused on some gusty, probably 50-mile-per-hour winds, maybe an isolated 60-mile-per-hour gust with this. And as you can see, it gusts out and dies out as it moves through the Dallas metro area. And this could extend all the way down towards San Antonio and Austin as well. Lots of showers and thunderstorms across the plains. And again, the best hail threat is when these storms initially go up back in, again, Amarillo and Lubbock. We're going to keep the threat low, so we had a moderate today. We'll go a little bit lower for tomorrow with that chances. Again, just the instability, all the things that we need, the wind shear just not in place. And again, the winds, you can see, high winds could extend out through Lawton. Abilene, bump them up to a moderate. Again, that MCV, that MCS will come crashing across the state. And then again, weaken as it moves into the Dallas area. On this date, did you know that Joplin, Missouri was hit by an EF5 tornado? Anybody remember that? A very, very significant tornado, killed over 100 people. We're not for sure the exact number. I had remembered it being 169. Wikipedia had a different number, but this was just one in multi deadly tornadoes that happened back in 2011. One of the deadliest tornado seasons that has ever happened in the United States. So one of the crazy years. So there it is. There's the hail forecast. Again, I always appreciate you guys for watching. I'm trying to see if you can see through my shirt and see the Facebook call there. You can kind of see it there through the background, but here it is. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're on all those. And then, of course, you can always contact us right over here, 855-334-4245, info@hailtrace.com, our website. And as always, scan the QR code. That'll get you all the information that you need to know. Again, we appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you have a great afternoon and a great week.